they can be in this at any moment. They just gotta up their mental game, let their talent speak.
Amazing placement. What a shot.
That was a Yahtzee overhead.
Aspect of mental toughness here that's just so different.
I like the body language of all four players.
Oh, look at that shot! Great hands from Kiro. Hello and welcome to the 2023-24 APTA Tour presented by Volley. We are live from the Orchard Lake Country Club in West Bloomfield Township, Michigan, bringing you the 2024 Detroit Invitational Grand Prix, which is the 12th stop on the 2023-24 APTA Tour, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors Volley and Fusion, and local sponsors DIAG, Detroit Platform Tennis Association, Asset Health, Jack McNaughton, Lux Homes, Gen Oil, Crest Automotive, the Thursday night Orchard Lake Country Club guys, Capsiva, and not to be outdone by the Thursday night guys, the Wednesday night Orchard Lake Country Club guys, and Etkin Real Estate, Bank Rifkin, and Wilson Partners. I'm Brad Easterbrook alongside John Kilmer, bringing you men's round of 16 action here at the Detroit Grand Prix. John, welcome to the booth.
Thank you for having me, Brad. Excited to have this round of 16 action in Detroit.
All right, so who do we got on the court out there? Do a quick intro.
So, on the near side serving in the gray hat is Ryan Baxter and his partner Tomas Christian on the near side without the hat. On the far side serving with the baby blue shirt is Philippe Rams, and Russell Benkaim is with the backwards white hat. And today's match is regular scoring, so best 2 out of 3 sets.
Terrific.
And our umpire today is going to be Frank Willard.
All right, great. This should be a great matchup here in the round of 16. I mean, all these players, there's plenty of offense on the court, but you got to give the nod to Benkaim and Rams. They have offense all over the place. Benkaim rips a forehand, rips a backhand. He's young and fast. Rams, one of the most fluid players on the tour for years. Baxter and Christian have good forehands, and Baxter can rip it, but I imagine they're going to have to play a more patient and disciplined match out here against Benkaim and Rams.
For sure, and that's one thing that I think puts Tomas Christian in a good spot to handle this today is his volleys are really, really strong. So that's going to have to be on point to handle the offense that you were talking about from Benkaim and Rams.
Yeah, we should mention, actually, Benkaim is he's a director in New Jersey, I think at Mountain Ridge Country Club, director of racket sports there. And he's a last-minute substitution for Rams' typical partner, which would be Martin Bostrom. And apparently Bostrom he was serving, he stumbled, tripped, fell, dislocated his finger. So he was out on Thursday night. We wish him good health. And so Benkaim, last-minute sub, and a very good one at that. You know, he's a young and upcoming player, so look forward to seeing him out here.
And I think this gives the pros a taste of what league players have to deal with all the time and trying to play with a new partner on the fly and make it work. So it'll be interesting to see how Rams and Benkaim kind of formulate a strategy and just kind of communicate throughout the course of the day.
All right, looks like the match is getting ready to start. And looks like Benkaim's got the ball to start, but we'll see here in a second here. You know, I did get to watch a little bit of Rams and Benkaim against a local team here, Cosgrove and Parks. And they got through them, but, you know, it was, I think, the biggest and the closest matchup. They looked really good as a team together. Cosgrove, I think the toughest matchup was who had better hair, Cosgrove or Philippe Rams, but it was a, good matchup out there in the morning. Both these teams got through pretty easily. Christian and Baxter had a 7-6 first set in their first round. So here we go, Russell Benkaim to serve. Great view there, shot into the crease there. A little late call from Baxter.
And Brad, we're talking about Russell and Philippe being first-time partners, but do you know if Ryan and Tomas have played together before?
I'm not sure if they have, actually. I think it might be a first time. They might have been played one more time before. And I know they could. I spoke with Tomas Christian a little before the match. He said they do have a definite strategy, and they are concerned and aware of the amount of offense that Benkaim and Rams can bring. So we're going to see how it all unfolds. John, it's a perfect paddle day out there. It's overcast. It's about high 30s. It's ideal for play. You know, players, it's nice when it's a nice sunny day, but every player out there would tell you they'd prefer it to be a little sunnier instead of a low sun coming in and affecting the match.
That's how you can spot a true paddle player. When you start saying that 30 and cloudy is an ideal day, that's how you know you love the game. Now, traditionally, when Tomas plays with like Drew or some of his other partners, he plays a little bit of a slower game. But now that he's playing with Baxter today, do you think it's going to be important for him to definitely swing away and keep that pace of play fast? Or do you think they're looking to have Tomas almost even Ryan out a little bit, slow down and play some patient paddle?
Yeah, I think he's going to definitely have to bring his forehand and take the right spots, but they're definitely going to play patient. You know, and right now so far, they're doing a good job of it. That's a tough look there. Ball lower than the net while he's backing away from it. So 40 love now here for Benkaim and Rams. And they got two really good balls into the crease. Forced a couple errors here. Or 15-40, sorry. 40-15. You know, Baxter's got a lot of talent. He can do a little bit of everything. He can hit a cut finisher. He can rip it. You know, he had some great results with a partner, Ricky Heath, years ago, and they had good chemistry together. And the biggest thing is, it's just a question of whether he stays disciplined at these various times. And, Ryan Baxter.
And that's an untalked about part of partnerships, is just having somebody who can maybe say the right thing to you at the right time to keep you playing disciplined. When you're playing with someone new, it's awesome to have, you know, different partners, but sometimes you don't quite know what to say to keep your partner locked in and doing the right thing.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, sometimes you play with somebody and there's good chemistry right from the outset. And there we saw actually two really good serves, a big serve there from Benkaim. He hits a hard, challenging serve right at the crease. I think Baxter might have thought it was even out. He wasn't sure. Ball goes for an ace. Good hold there. Now here's where we're going to see the offense from Benkaim and Rams. They're fast, huge forehand, and a lot of blitzing coming out of Rams. And Benkaim will do the same. But he's got a huge backhand too, Benkaim. That's a great ball in the crease. Perfect roller there from Christian.
We're, what, 7 points into the day and already 3 crease winners?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Game.
Yeah, that's a lot for right off the bat. We're going to see that blitz move, but a terrific cutoff volley there from Christian. You notice he gets close to the net, and he volleys it down. That's the thing that a lot of amateur players need to look for. When you see a drive coming, you can get on top of the net and don't open your face, but actually close it down so that you're hitting it down at your opponent's feet.
And these drives are coming so fast that, to your point, if you don't have your backhand paddle just already ready to go, pointed downwards, you're not going to have time to react. So just prioritizing that positioning is going to be really important for these guys at the net today.
Wow, really active up there. That was wide. Pushes it wide. All right, good fortunate let cord there for Baxter. 1 game all. And really quickly, Philippe Rams to serve. Over on the other side receiving now, Tomas Christian. See, that's the shot. He's just going to tag him. I'm not sure what the pace, he's going, if we're talking about playing disciplined, controlled paddle, that's just like he's just whacking it as hard as he can at the body, going for a tag. He aced him again there. Great shot. Baxter's kind of creeping up, but he's not seeing the spin on a couple of those.
And typically when you try to start tagging guys, it's when guys are willing to play really conservative paddle and you just want to send a message that, hey, you can't dump the ball to me today. But Russell and Philippe, they're hitting attacking overheads. So to your point, a little surprising that he's being as aggressive off the deck as he is right now.
Good spot there, gets it off of Philippe Ram's right hip. Versus a volley there.
Well, that's a really nice dig there from Benkaim in that corner. Sets up the backhand beautifully.
Yeah, both teams, we've had a lot of transition play already in these first two games. And both teams doing a great job noticing when the drives are coming. They're playing hard and fast. There's not a lot of, slow dumps going on, where you take the pace off the overhead and you just dump it in there and play heavy position. A lot of quick movement. I would assume the faster the play goes, the better overall it's going to be for Benkaim and Rams. That's a spike. Oh, top of the net with a winner. Now that's the danger of hitting that waterfall overhead. It can be a terrific shot. It falls down behind your opponent, but if you don't get it up over his head, he's got an overhead smash. Good lead there from Rams, 2-1. Yeah, it's a great draw here on the men's side. Players from all over the country here at our 12th start, our third Grand Prix. We're going to be back in 2 more weeks for the 4th Grand Prix on the schedule, Short Hills. Oh, that's
and if I'm correct, I believe that the purse for this is $35,000, which is the biggest purse in paddle tournament history. So I'm sure it's bringing out all the top players from across the country competing for this Grand Prix.
Yeah, basically almost all the players we just mentioned before. Martin Bostrom dislocated his finger. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Apparently he's going to have a splint on for at least a week, but we'll have to see. Yeah, the only player, really top player who's not here, we are missing Mark Powers, I guess, and they've barely played this year. Yeah, so it's a full draw out here. Great matches, a bunch of good round of 16 matches. We got another scoring card going on there, but no commentary. So there's a couple of really good round of 16s here. Broderick playing with Kaler against Thomas Nolan and Marek Chervinsky. Well as Humphreys and Ossis Koenig. Tough match with Ong and Steinman. So great round of 16s out here. And then we're going to be on all day, John. So we got women's quarters after this, as well as women's semifinals, men's quarters. So it's a full day.
And I know Detroit's one of those major upcoming paddle cities, so it's just a really great opportunity for all the players in the area to come out, get a full day of incredibly high-level paddle. And I'm sure everybody in the stands is excited that today's the full day, not tomorrow, so that they can all get home in time to watch their Lions in the NFC Championship tomorrow.
That is the talk. I stopped in a liquor store here to get a gift for somebody on the way in to the tournament, and the first thing the guy said was, hey, go Lions. We're going to have something to celebrate tomorrow, so wish them the best of luck. Outside of the Red Wings been carrying the banner for a while here. It's a great moment for some Detroit sports. And, of course, Michigan had its good year, with Michigan winning the college football playoff. So everybody's running on high from that. 30. Good job, so far. Christian Baxter staying right in there. There's just been a few errors, and this is a moment here, 2 faults. Brings him to deuce.
That's just really, really good job by Benkaim and Rams there, recovering in this point. And I'm sure there's going to be 15 more amazing offensive shots in this point, but it's the defense that really is going to keep these players in points, and it's something that cannot go unnoticed.
Well, right now, we're still kind of feeling it out. It's only 2-1 here in this first set, but really they're digging this point out, and we haven't seen a team yet dig. There's been a lot of hit, and most of the shots that have been, made, we've had some good corner balls, but it's a lot of action. That's going to do it right there, and they got a break point now. Great exchange, and I think when you're in the exchange like that, it's hard, it's too fast, but you got to either get closer and go for the win. Wow, he goes up right into the body there of Baxter. Good shot. Tough, he gets it just above his paddle, so break there. They're up 40-15, and then 2 faults brings it to deuce, and good close out there from Rams and Benkaim.
And right here is when you have to be really, really judicious about being where your feet are. If you start thinking about how you missed 2 opportunities to make it 2-all, the set can start to get away from you. Just get right back in, play some long points, try to make this a competitive set again.
Well, that's such a key to many matches that's a tough ball. They're on top of the net. The ball's low and deep, and he's trying to hit a heavy forehand there, but they're still very close to the net. I'm not sure what he's gaining, even if he makes it. It's not likely to force the error there because they're going to get the volley down. Now you see Benkaim, he's going with 2 serves, which is actually, people are getting, to me, more away from the underhand serve, but he's going to go heavy, challenging serve with the right-hand kicker into the ad side, but then he'll go roller serve into the deuce. Now, hard, fast play there. He's trying to one-time it. So far, it's been mostly errors. Hasn't helped him yet. I missed. Holy cow, he's one-timing that from 3 feet behind the baseline.
I think in the tennis world, we're familiar with the saber being sneak attacked by Roger. I guess Ryan's going after the saber for sneak attack by Ryan on the return. Haven't quite seen that one before.
All right, a couple of faults and a couple of missed volleys here. Break point back now for Baxter. Wow, that's a big serve. And he's afraid that it's going right in the corners because he's aced him. He's been aced a couple of times already. So that one just jammed him. But he's standing in so far. He's really trying to take it early that it's a tough spot.
And typically at the club level, when players are concerned about that ball nicking, you tell them to PTC, protect the corner. But that's typically by stepping back a little bit further into the corner, not going up to the service line. Wow, another really good challenging serve there by Benkaim.
Yeah, he's hitting a big, heavy serve in there. And Baxter's still staying up tight. And that's, interesting there from Christian. There's a couple of good spin balls there to finish it out. And it's 4-1, but it's been really close.
It has been. And Brad, before we talk about that, a quick note from our sponsor, Volley. Volley is a proud sponsor of the APTA. As the first AI-enabled training experience, Volley modernizes racket sports by delivering the on-demand dynamic system for live play training and better workouts. Volley creates a community to connect pros and players while giving users personalized performance insights to track progress and customize their practice. Ask your pro about a Volley lesson today. For more information, visit getvolley.com.
Christian sticks out his paddle on that one, love 15. Yeah, we were just talking about it. It's 4-1, but it's just been a couple of moments, and Benkaim and Rams have capitalized on him, whereas in any of they had a moment in the last game, Baxter and and Christian, but it was quick errors on those points, and the game went quickly the other way. So it's just a question of capitalizing on a couple of moments. And to me, again, the pace is still not quite right for Baxter and Rams. It's got to be a little more error-free and a little more focused on timely offense, not any offense. And by any offense, I mean just, hitting offense when you're in an offensive position or you have somebody off the net, not just hitting it because you can.
And that's something that's even more important the more talented you are as a player, like all four of these guys are. You can probably drive any ball that you see out here, but the question of should you is a vastly different one.
That's a great spot again. Rams just puts it off his
and that
right
was
hip.
one of the we were talking earlier about there haven't been many points that we've been really having to emphasize digging. I thought that point was one of the first ones that we've seen where Benkaim just kind of consistently kept that ball in play, made some nice digs, set up a short ball for Rams, who was able to tag Baxter.
Good read there from Rams. Good time for a cut short. Didn't quite get enough on it, but still good forcing shot. That's a great close there from Christian.
And that's one where I think Baxter and Christian almost have to start leaning in to Christian's skill set there at the net. Baxter's hitting really challenging offensive overheads that aren't really being driven all that often. I think if you can start to push the ball a little bit more, give Tomas an opportunity to make a difference at the net, I think that can change the dynamic a little bit, maybe get the score to be a little closer in the second set. Another great drive there by Rams.
Yeah, I think the pace is wrong for them, though. It's a tough pace, I think, for them right now. But, funny thing, he made a great volley, Christian, at the last point. But then he took the last overhead and he dumped it right up to Rams' forehand, who had forced an error. So they got to just play a more disciplined, balanced match with how they're playing the balls. We say this a lot in a bunch of these matches. You feel like the margin for victory is bigger for Rams and Benkaim. That means that they can afford to miss one or two more balls. Baxter and Christian have to play more solid. They don't have quite. They have to play more solid and more, disciplined paddle on this one. Good bail. Sometimes I like it on that screen drive if your partner lets you know if he's gone. It wasn't even anybody near the net, and yet Benkaim hits it out. All you had to do was hit a roller at the service line, but you don't know that when you're hitting the screen drive. You're just hitting your shot.
And that's something that will be interesting to see how Rams and Benkaim adjust to that moving forward. Again, they're up 4-1, and as a new team, you're probably not too worried about over-communicating right now, but as the day progresses, just giving your partner those occasional heads up, reducing errors, and just keeping that ball in play is going to be helpful.
Well, right now, this is kind of exactly what they're looking for right now, Benkaim and Rams. It's moving quick. They're getting their opportunities when they want, and the other guys are giving them a mistake like that. To me, what I'm saying is they want to play their best opportunities. Like you said before, we know Baxter can drive that, but should he have driven that ball? One-handed slice backhand, of the options he has, is that his best weapon, right? He's not really a player known to hit a ton of touch balls or dinks or, so the one-handed slice backhand, yeah, you can make it, but for them, they want to stick with their best opportunities and keep the points building. You cannot continue to go hard into their screens like that. I mean, Benkaim's just lobbing it back, waiting for you to hit it hard, and then he just takes a backhand off the screen.
And I think, that goes back to the same point that we're talking earlier there. That's a good take from Tomas, but is that the take that they're looking for as a team? Or it could just be that right now that they're trying to play fast for this first set, see if that works, and if it doesn't, maybe make a sweeping change in the second. But just trying to figure out what their strategy is going to be moving forward.
All right, so it's game point here. Obviously, it's extremely important for Baxter and Christian to be able to get this one. Huge difference between 4-2 and 5-1. Oh, and he tries to hit a heavy dipper there instead of a hard strike, and he catches the net. So great hold there. A few donations, a couple errors, but way to pull it through. 4-2.
Baxter, Christian, Benkaim Rams lead the first set, 4 games to 2.
We were talking earlier about the amount of transition play that's happened today. I think transition points have greatly skewed in the favor of Rams Benkaim. So I think the big change that we saw in that last point was when Baxter hit it too hard off the cage and Benkaim was going to drive it. Instead of bailing like he did the previous 2 times, Ryan stayed in there, made the volley, forced an error. So that might just be for them trying to avoid transition opportunities might be the better play for Baxter Christian.
Baxter sneaking it again. He gets burned. He's trying to one-time it. And, and I'm not sure. I mean, John, in your estimation, how many has he succeeded in winning a point with? Forget about getting it back and just winning a point with. Taking that early one-time return.
Winning a point?
Yeah.
Maybe 1. And just making the ball back in, I think, has been 50%, which is just a really low percentage in paddle.
That's my entire point with it. I'm not sure he's continuing it, but he just got aced again. And his skill set's very good. That's a nice little shot there. He catches him off the net.
When I play league matches, every now and then I'll do a chip like that and win a point, and then I'll smile to my partner and I'll say, all right, I'm glad that worked once, but probably not going to be the way that we go about winning points tonight. Do you think, because we talked about earlier, Baxter's not a guy that's typically known for those touch shots. Is winning points on those little chips going to be something that's good for them in the long term or not? Because maybe he's just going to keep doing that.
Yeah, my guess is no. I mean, that was a really good shot, but my guess is, he made an error before trying a similar shot. So now he's 1 for 1. And that's reasonable, but that's not a good enough lob. See, I love the move Christian's going to make there, where you hit a lob and then you move yourself up the side wire looking for the down-up overhead. But the lob's got to push the guy back to the service line. That time, Benkaim's hitting it from inside the service line, so he's got too much angle. And he ends up getting a winner. See, and those are the type of chances that I just want them to get rid of right now. Take them out of the game. I think that'll be ideal for them. But like you said, this is the first set. It's 2 out of 3 match. They may adjust. Wow, just out.
Game, Benkaim Rams. They lead the first set, 5 games to 2.
Now, if I had to go somewhere, I got to see a little bit more of it. I've only seen Benkaim play. This is probably like this, kind of the second time. If I had to place the ball, I would go into his forehand more, and just sort of push it deep and low and just make him work that shot consistently. You got to be careful sliding it into his backhand.
And whenever you're playing with a new partner and you don't know what your role is, how far into the middle is Russell willing to go to take that forehand versus does he think that's going to be a Rams backhand? And to your point, I haven't seen Ryan or Tomas ask that question of, hey, who's going to handle ball pushes in the middle? And is there offense that we have to worry about from there? There's been a lot of attacking overheads to the side wires, but not a lot of pushes in the middle just to ask the question, hey, how are you guys going to beat us today in the middle of the court?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And there's a quick move, tried to pull the trigger on it down the line there. It's the quick, fast points, but yeah, play it down the middle a bit, see what they have, the pace into something more manageable. But you got to want to do it. There's a good little dump down the middle. In fact, Rams was looking to cut off another one of those hard ones. I like it.
And then just by going up the middle a little bit more frequently, the guys have to respect that and pinch a little bit more to the middle, which opens up the side wires again for what you're looking to do. So it doesn't even have to be a play you do all the time. You just have to make them respect that the middle might be hit to.
See, that was a perfect play. He could have slammed it down and tried to get around it, but he just dumped it down the center. That's the right idea. And then when you get an opportunity ball, something you can do more with, fine, go for the attack, but just slamming it into the side, this is a little better what they want, right?
Yeah.
Now, Rams is great at, like, he hits this chip lob that looks like he might hit a little sharp chip, and he keeps doing it like he'll do that, like a little low one, then he goes lob, lob, lob. But it's not a killer, right? He's going to kind of use it as like little jabs, but you're going to stay in here in these points. This is going to be good. And then when you finally get the weak one, then take your shots. Put the pressure on. Hit at the crease. Good cut finishing overhead.
And it looks like they're starting to find their rhythm a little bit at the net. Now, Rams Benkaim still are very much looking, as we were talking about earlier, hitting those probing shots, willing to step in and attack the balls that they can. But I think we're starting to see both teams now start to play a little bit more the way that they want to.
See, but that was perfect. And he got Benkaim just, I mean, wasn't even a great shot, but lost a little patience, missed it. Ball goes out. Perfect game. This is it. They're working the middle a little bit more. Benkaim takes the shot on the ball before, and then a couple of game points. Now you notice Tomas Christian getting off the court there a lot, moving to his right. See that? Good play. Oh, he missed it wide. He read the play perfectly and angled his face wrong. Had that one.
And if I believe correctly, the last time Tomas served, they were up 40-15 as well. So this is one that you definitely want to get out of here with a win just to feel good about your service games. And back to deuce we go.
Yeah, this is exactly where the match turned in the first set. You know, it was about to be 2-all, and then he faulted twice. And then that first set, you know, basically turned right there. Because it got the deuce, and then they just lost the next 2 points.
We were talking earlier about how so far this first set's really been just a set of moments. I think it's pretty apparent to all four guys right now that this might be the final big moment of this first set, and how are they going to go about playing it. So I think all four guys understand the importance of this point right here and the difference between a 5-3 set versus, you know, the set being over at 6-2. It'll be interesting to see how these guys play this point.
Yeah, that's a great point, John. Ooh, he goes for the dunk. All right, now it's game point here. Stay in the set. Oh. Actually, I think Benkaim and Rams got in each other's way there a little. It was kind of an easy sitter. There they go. Work the middle slow. Yeah, oh my goodness. He goes for the offensive volley wide. That's 2 offensive volleys he's missed here. Deuce. I mean, it was kind of... Go ahead. Sorry.
And a lot of times we talk about, was the mistake in the idea or the execution? And you can live with the mistakes in execution. It's the mistakes of ideas that are tough. So I think if they can keep reading the drives like they are, and they're just missing volleys, I think that's something that they can come back from. But they got to make sure that they're continuing to execute on their strategy.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. Sean and Cal both nod their head. They full agreement. Our producers here. It's either he's nodding his head or he's nodding off. I'm not really sure which it is because I think he was out late.
Well, as you were talking about, you guys have a long day ahead of you, so hopefully it's the former.
All right, so good hold there from Christian. See if Benkaim can serve it out here. Again, he's going to a forehand, underhand topspin serve wide on this side. And to the other side, it's that heavy, challenging serve of which he's, as of now, gotten much more of the better of that serve versus the Baxter return right now. And Baxter's continuing to try and step up and take it early. See if he does it again. It looks like he's just going to protect the corner here. Yeah, block, protect the corner. I actually love it. I think it's the right play. Just put it back in play. He had 0 success trying to take it early and driving it.
And we're seeing here he's going to get plenty of opportunities for offense. So that return, a lot of times we talk about, hey, the return is often your very best opportunity to have an offensive look at a ball. But if someone like Benkaim is hitting that challenging of a serve, nothing wrong with taking a step back, throwing it up, and waiting for a better opportunity later on in the point.
Good read there from Philip Rams, and he just was all over that half-pace forehand, that probing forehand from Christian.
Wow, that's a really nice forehand volley there from Tomas.
Yeah, just a little stab volley there. Well spotted, but just to make it was good. But then there's like another good read.
Both Benkaim and Rams right now are just doing a really, really good job of moving in tandem and protecting their partner after they hit a push overhead. It's something that we talk about a lot to club players, is that if your partner's moving backwards to hit a lob, you as that net player have to be willing to slide more towards the middle and be their protector with that volley. And both of these guys are doing a fabulous job of that right now.
All right, so there is game and first set going to Rams and Benkaim, and we will be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by CPTC.
So what really interested me about the trainer was the endless opportunities with it. I've gone through a couple ball machines in my career before, and this really was a technologically advanced machine that I've never seen before. Digging into it a little more in depth, I really found the opportunities to use it in my advantage. All right, ladies, just 1 minute, we'll get started. always trying to recreate these tennis ball machines into paddle ball machines to practice. And this was the first thing on the market that really came out. We have a robust membership here, very active in the paddle community, and I think the volley is going to kind of put us over top as a program. All right, ladies, welcome. All right, today we're going to go over our side back screens. So we've got the volley trainer out here with us today. We'll have 2 on this side hitting. So the cool part about the volley is during lessons when I'm able to use it is I really get a more in-depth connection with my clients. So when I have a lesson out on the court, I can set up the volley to feed a screen, and I don't have to be on the other side of the court kind of yelling to them what they need to change, what they need to do while I'm hitting. I'm really using my time with them right next to them to make those changes quicker so they can have more success in the long term. Bridget's on the net, Robin sliding over. We are going to be beat by this cross-court lob a lot. I'm Blake Anderson, Director of Rackets at Fairmont Country Club. Try the volley at your club and you won't regret it.
All right, and welcome back to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Orchard Lake Country Club, being you men's round of 16 match between Benkaim and Philippe Rams on the bottom of your screen, where they just won the first set 6-3 against Baxter, who is serving now, and his partner Tomas Christian. So, Baxter and Christian, they hit some good shots, but overall, I think the strategy got a little better towards the second set. They started finding the middle a little bit more instead of just hard to the outsides constantly. But, in general, I wouldn't call it a winning strategy. Like, if they play the same set, it'd be hard-pressed for me to, to think they can win it. And it definitely seemed like Christian and Baxter, whenever they were taking a drive, it was kind of like off pace and off their heels, and then quickly Benkaim and Rams were on top of it, sticking it right back at them. So you got any thoughts on that first set, John?
Yeah, I think as we were talking about before, it was really a set of moments. And every time that moment happened, the play sped up and favored Benkaim and Rams. So I think moving forward is that when they feel like a moment is happening, just are they willing to play a little bit slower like they did towards the end of that first set? And play in a way that maybe they can come back and win. Because to your point, if all 4 guys are playing fast, I don't see how the second set's any different than the first. But if they're willing to slow things down, that's a slightly different story, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. And when you're capable of playing fast, playing slow is not as fun as playing fast. Now, winning's fun, but playing slow isn't always fun. So I think if that is going to be the strategy for Baxter or Christian this set, and if they do play slow in these first couple games, they got to win them. Because otherwise, I think maybe the tires fall off a little bit and they'll speed things up.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I think they got to slow it down just to do it. Allow these guys, Benkaim and Rams, to make a few errors, win some points on their mistakes, here and there. They've won points on their mistakes, but the problem is they're giving too many on the other side of it. They have to cut down on their errors and get a few more from the other guys. And you're 100% right. Playing fast is the most fun you can do. The key is the balance and how you balance it. Because I'm definitely not telling them not to strike the ball or take their offense when they get it, but I'm telling them to actually set it up.
Yeah, I played a lot with Danny Hirsch over the years, and it was something that he really stressed to me is that, listen, set your parameters on what balls you're willing to drive. And if you get 10 of them in a row, take your swings. But if it's not what you're looking for, don't take it. Doesn't matter how juicy it is. If that's not within the parameters of what you're looking for, wait for the right moment. And to your point, when you get that ball, absolutely, take your swings.
Hirsch and Wagner in the draw, a couple of Pittsburgh Stables legends. And they got Burrish and Nunez, another one of our great round of 16 matchups there.
I think the fans are missing out by not having every round of 16 men's match streamed. The draw is just that deep.
The
today.
draw is really, really deep. There are, any one of those matches is a very good match to take a look at.
I think the match, though, that the tournament director has circled is the Steinman-Ong round of 16. Andrew's known for elongating the day with his speed of play, so it'll be interesting to see how that match goes.
You know, Ong has taken some good results this year. He's had some good ones.
And he's had good results with a multitude of partners. Just been a really, really good season for Andrew.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you know, Ong and Steinman took the first set 6-1 against Assis Koenig and Humphreys. So taking it to him in that first set. And it's been an interesting start to the year so far for Humphreys and Assis Koenig. Oh, wow, what a shot there from Benkaim. You know, it was off our screen, but I think he got behind it and just sort of flipped the forehand and completely caught them unawares.
It almost could have been off the snowboard. And we were talking earlier about how this match has been, you know, a match of moments. That could very well be the moment of the second set.
Yeah, you can see Christian there as he crosses over. He's shaking his head a little like, all right, things aren't going great. And then he hits that one. But, you know, right now, let's just see if they continue to get more discipline. Really want to start this off with a break, but plenty of paddle left to play here. I wouldn't mind seeing Baxter and Christian switch in the backcourt once or twice, too. Just getting a little different looks.
And sometimes it's just making your opponents just think about for a second, hey, they switched. Where are our safe spots on the court? Can be enough. Just cause a little bit of confusion and either create some errors or some really nice looks for you as a team. Even if, to your point, it's just for a point or two.
Yeah, and even to do it like halfway through a point, switch back again. That's a big ball there. He overhits that one into the screen. Baxter moving up into the court, sticks a two-hander. Good shot. Baxter's director in Louisville. Really cool spot out there. They have a great tournament, this Bourbon Bowl. He's back to taking it early again. But see, he took it early. But my point is, what did he actually gain? You know, it's not like it's an offensive return. He just got it back.
Right, and to your point, even when he does get that back, it's not as if it's making Philippe try to hit a more challenging serve moving forward because he's able to handle that first volley. So, just you're on site the rest of the day. I'm going to be interested to hear what his reasoning is for these little sneak attack returns.
Nice three-quarter, good recognition there. Neither player comes in, so he just hits a three-quarter drive. That's good transition play. Oh!
Oh, but that's a good take.
Oh, no, he had him backing up. And I actually think, honestly, that's sort of the reason for that. I don't know if you remember way back in the first set where he really just airmailed a hard forehand about 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I think he does that as an early message to say, I can. And then when you get in close, you have to think about it. So he gets him backing off the net a little there. And he did get him doing what he wanted, but then he missed the shot.
Yeah, it's something that we talk about all the time. The minute that you say on a drive, I'm just going to make this in, that's when they become oddly difficult.
There's
And
again.
I like this a lot. Exactly. He's just looking to cut off those volleys. He knows now they're settling in as a team that Rams is going to take a majority of these overheads, and that's really freeing up Benkaim to really be on the prowl to cut off some volleys.
And in terms of like the amount of balls Baxter's playing versus the amount of balls that Christian's playing, what do you think it is?
I feel like they're hitting to Ryan now 60, 65% of the time, and at least since, let's call it, 4 games into that first set.
Yeah, and they've had no way really because, you know, Christian doesn't really hit the backhand that much. He can move over and hit the forehand. But there's like, he's trying to cover almost, you know, they're working Baxter in and out, and Christian's just kind of hanging. There's got to be a way to get him involved there. And hasn't really happened yet, you know. And Christian's had a bunch of different partners. He's played with Broderick some. You know, Broderick points are very designed with a certain type of lob that he uses, and he knows exactly what balls are waiting for. I'm not sure Christian knows what he's looking for. It's just like the play just either winds its way around to him or it doesn't, you know.
And I think by design, like typically, if I had to take a guess, if Ryan and Tomas were to have a conversation about what their strategy is going to be before the match, if you were to say beforehand that, Ryan, you're going to see 65, 70% of the balls, I think that's what they'd sign up for. I think to your point, Tomas's job is to bring the offense if they start to make that 50-50. As that deuce partner, you have to make sure that you are doing enough to incentivize them to hit that ball over to Ryan Baxter. But if they're hitting the ball to Ryan 70% of the time, I think it's just really a matter of Ryan's looks being the right ones and capitalizing on them.
A good spot there. He's gotten 2 good looks on backhands moving forward. You know, if he's moving forward into the court, I'm okay with the drives. These kind of off-pace ones where they're back in the court, hit them off the screen. I'd take those out of the playbook right now.
Game, Benkaim Rams. They lead the second set 2 games to love.
Oh, great blitz there, and he flips the volley right at him. I don't think it was going in, John. I think he just couldn't get out of the way.
It almost feels like Benkaim and Rams took a little bit of offense to the warning shot that Baxter hit early in that first set, because I think they've tagged Ryan 3 times now.
I mean, they always play heavy and forward. I mean, I didn't see any revenge to it, but you know, it's good play. You got to watch out for the blitz from those guys. They're very good at it, and so far, Benkaim and Rams, in terms of cutting off volleys and sort of controlling and covering their net, they've done a much stronger job and a really good job of it, actually. They're really reading the drives now that are coming off of Baxter and Christian's rackets.
And when we were talking about earlier, Baxter and Christian switching in the backcourt just to give a different look, we're seeing it right here with Russell and Philippe, that they tried to dump a ball in the middle, and Philippe almost ran into Russell looking to drive that ball. And it's the strategy can change drastically based on who is where in the backcourt.
Oh, God, great volley, but I don't know why you cannot challenge that forehand over there from Rams. Keep the ball up the middle. The one spot they had was kind of like right at around 4-1, 5-1, you know, where they kind of started playing a little more down the middle, their spots at the right time. Got to call out that blitz, the off player. Got to be watching forward. It's a good move there from Rams.
And that's a really good point where we're saying, hey, that is Baxter's job there to let Tomas know that he's blitzing. We did not say stop hitting that push in the middle. You just have to make sure that you are letting your partner know where your opponents are if you're going to start slowing the game down against a team that is willing to speed things up.
A smart move by Benkaim. You notice he stayed back the entire time Rams was sort of up there trying to control the point. And he waited till the ball came where he knew Rams was going to hit it into the screen, and then he just easily made his way up there. Otherwise, he kind of had him under control in the backcourt. So, well done. That's a good look there from Christian. Just didn't quite get it early enough. But it is the right ball. That's what they want.
And right now, Rams is doing a really good job with that little chip backhand just to draw both of these guys in. So now anytime that he does end up holding it and hitting a lob, you're forcing them to hit an overhead off their back foot that creates an amazing offensive opportunity like we just saw right there for Russell.
Yeah, I think it's a great point you made, and you could see actually how the control of the play was happening from Rams and Benkaim there. And they fell into it, actually, Christian and Baxter. He actually hit a long shot wide, and that drew him out wide. Then he had to come back down the line to cover that. Then he goes cross court as he's moving to his right. Everything was, they were working against the play the entire time for about 10 balls. And that's why Christian and Baxter needed to slow that play down a little more and get in better position. And then once they're in better position, they can start working the attack. But just moving the ball around, pushing them back off the net. It's a good-looking point from, there are a bunch of points here from Benkaim and Rams. See, that's a dangerous shot. He's going all the way wide by hitting it back across the court.
And then to your point, the second he hits it, he has to beeline cross court just to be in, have a chance of making that volley.
Yeah, just he's going all the way back the other direction. There they got a mistake, though, out of Rams. Oh. Oh. Yeah, it's good hands up there. It's fun to watch Rams work at the net. One of the most fluid players. Oh, slippery drive down the line there from Benkaim. Oh, it's a good look for the cutter there. It's the kind of ball, slow, right there, just didn't execute. All right, another game point here for Christian. 2-love down. They got to close this one out. Deuce. Nice job. And the exchanges, you know, I would think it's about a 3-to-1 ratio for Benkaim and Rams, and that's 3-love now. So it all goes to the point, though, of the faster the play goes, the better it is for Benkaim and Rams. You know, they're winning more of those exchanges. And right now, you know, those guys are going to have to just change up the strategy a little. And not only that, the way they're placing their overheads in that last game, and they still had a game point. They had a chance to put it away, but the problem is, you know, they're working the ball left and right, but they're not working it in a way where they're moving the other guys out of position. They're working their overheads in a way where, you know, they have to move, where Christian and Baxter are actually having to move to cover the next ball.
Yeah, it's something that we tell club players all the time. Is your job is to prioritize positioning. And that doesn't just mean that you should be where you need to be based on where they're hitting. It's you got to hit the ball so that you maintain positioning at the net. And if you can't do that, it's just going to be really hard to win points at this level.
A little off-pace drive there at his feet. Give a birthday shout out to Yancey Dennis, one of the top 10 players in the country. His partner Gabe Friedrich. They're not here this weekend. Surprised not to see them there, but maybe it's because he's got a massive birthday celebration lined up. Hopefully he does.
And that will be something for just the fans at home to watch the duration of the day. Is I know historically Rams likes to hit that heavy underhand serve to the deuce side and the heavy overhand serve to the ad side. Right now he's going pretty heavy overhead to both sides. I'm not sure if that's just something that they kind of game plan before this match, or if it's more indicative of how the rest of the tournament's going to be played.
All right, there's a quick game. Nice break. Good break there for Christian and Baxter. Three-one here. Oh, Benkaim he made a late move, and then he got stuck. Perfect little touch distance there from Baxter. Good shot. Benkaim was a little late, though. He was hesitant in his blitz. That time he actually spooked Baxter, who tried to push it wide away from him. He's quick, Benkaim.
All right, we've been talking about it all day, a match of moments. This is a big one right here.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a couple loose points here, and when your opponents give you a couple, bear down and take them, and don't give them right back. Make sure you capitalize, get some games here. You're down 3-love. It's a huge spot. The exchanges. I love that play from Christian, where he throws up a lob volley. Instead of continuing the exchange where he's not in a better position, nor do I think they may not even have better hands, so I'm only going to mix it up with those guys if I got a high ball I'm moving forward on. Otherwise, I'm going to lob volley it and retreat back. That's a good, solid point there. A couple of mixed up drives.
And that's everything that we've been talking about all day, is that they played that point to their strengths. They didn't engage in hand-to-hand combat. They bailed when needed, and then they waited for opportunities to step into the court to drive that gave them the best shot of succeeding. If they can keep doing this, I think we're in for a really great second set.
Oh, sneaky. Great dig, but wide. Good hands there. Benkaim made a good move, but he didn't punch the volley behind Baxter. And by keeping it in front of him, Baxter was able to one-time it early and put it into the open court. So good job.
And Fusion, in collaboration with the APTA, Fusion is at the forefront of personalized gear and apparel. Backed by a team of seasoned industry experts, we provide exclusive access to high-end products from top-tier retail brands, all poised for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate branding. Our streamlined approach guarantees a hassle-free shopping experience, complemented by custom online storefronts and swift ordering. Visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion seamlessly weave your branding into elite merchandise.
Yeah, I have done their online stores. They do a tremendous job. So Fusion does a great job. They got a lot of great products.
Yeah, we used them at the West Penn, or I guess this year, the Steel City Classic this year. They did a great job. And in the finals of that was Benkaim and Humphreys against Rams and Wagner. So two guys who battled it out for the finals a few months ago, teaming up in Detroit today for a fun team.
So here's where we saw, and you were talking about it before, John, where Rams has done a great job pushing like early block. Oh, there's a surprising miss there, but that ball was a little extra spin on it. It just stayed right on the wire. Benkaim couldn't come up with it. He did a great job in the last game being able to control points from the backcourt with his backhand lob, pushing it left, pushing it right, and waiting for the opportunities.
And I think that's something that club players really have to buy into, is that lobbing isn't something that you do because you can't drive or that you're just waiting to be offensive. It is fundamentally a way that you can control and dictate and set up a point. And if you can start doing that on your lob, one, it infuriates your opponents, and it just gets you more offensive opportunities throughout the duration of the match.
See, again,
I just
takes it early again, but it's another miss. I'm not sure I understand it.
All right, big point here. Does he do another sneak attack?
Well, it's not really much of a sneak. He's just doing it. It's no sneaking.
And when we were talking earlier about Tomas bringing the offense, I think he's playing exactly the way that he should be, is when the ball's being hit to him, he is capitalizing. I actually, knock on wood, I can't remember the last time that he missed a drive because he's being really judicious in his decision-making. Yeah. And I think the more that Ryan can play that same way, between the two of them, there is plenty of offense that if they just set their parameters and pull the trigger at appropriate moments, that they can be very competitive in this set.
Yeah, he has missed very few. He hasn't done a lot of damage, but I think the key first is starts with don't miss him. And I think that underhand return is actually very effective against Christian. He likes coming over the top of the ball more than he likes a ball sort of waist high. And he's making them all, but he's hitting them more like rollers, not, balls that he's coming over with early. The guys who have success against that underhand serve, they step up and they actually, take it early and go hard at the net man once in a while. And it's tricky, but you're right, he's not missing any of them. But it's more of a commitment to, it's like we have almost sometimes when they're playing, it's two different styles on the court. You got Christian doing his style and then Baxter doing his style, but they're not coinciding. They're not together.
They are finding that Baxter corner religiously right now, but Ryan's been doing a really good job of handling these shots.
Yeah, he's handling them, but what he really wants to start doing is more of a good diet of some down-the-line lobs. Push the ball, make him force the ball to the middle a little bit, so they can get some looks, or even over to Tomas's corner some. I would say, we talked a bit about before of Rams controlling points some with his lobs. We need to see a little bit more of that out of, Christian and Baxter. They're getting their lobs back, but they're not controlling the point, right? It's not like he's putting it down the line and then he knows what's coming next. It's more like they get it back and the next one's coming. And there you saw they just got burned at the end. Yeah, the talent is, undeniable by all the players. It's just that little X factor. He doesn't handle the spin on that one. Surprising. He's looking back at the screen. I mean, he's certainly seen enough of them, but good cut overhead there from Rams. Might have hit the seam, because that does happen.
Hello.
And as far as right-handed players go, I think Rams slash overhead to the deuce side might be as good as anybody in the country. It's really hard for right-handers to attack that deuce player, but Philippe's found a way to let that ball get really low and really carve around the outside for it to die off that back screen.
A good lob there from Christian. But see, it's a good lob, and I'd like to see it work as a team, meaning he lobs it well down the line, and they move together. Like Baxter moves up the side wire. Christian moves in a little, right? It's more like they're both just doing individual things. All right, here we are. 4-2 game. Great return there from Rams. Benkaim follows suit with another thunderous blast there, but I actually like this look here. Switching back right away, I would have stayed a couple. Oh, he held that beautifully. It looked like he does this shot, Rams, where he holds his paddle up, opens his face a little, and he just pushes it through the court, and he does time again. That time he held it the same way, and then he just cuts under at the last second. Beautiful.
And when you can start adding deception into the mix of your overheads, that's when you know you're having a good day at the office.
Well, it's definitely, we talk about the things that separate players. There are a lot of talented guys out here, but it seems like, but there's a few teams that are seeded that win a lot more than the others, and they have more of those ingredients is what they have. The ability to disguise a shot, or they have a better cut finishing overhead, or, it might be one guy's a great volleyer, but the other guy's a great volleyer, but he also has offensive volleys, right? It's just these little elements that are the separating differences. That's good cuts. Too good. Ooh. That's crazy good. But again, the overheads are doing more damage than the lobs, right? He's got them back in there.
And I don't think I've seen Russell and Philippe have a miscommunication on a overhead, and man, this entire set, which just goes to show that these lobs are not causing confusion on the other side of the court.
All right, it's the long haul now. No room left here for Christian and Baxter. We'll see if we can try to get you some scores on some other matches. Yeah. Ong and Steinman up 2-1 in the second set on our other court. Haven't heard word yet from the Burris-Nunez match. The other matches are going on at Hills 2-2 against Chavinsky, Nolan, Broderick, Keller are 2-all. And Durant Mitchell, just lost the second set 7-6 after winning the first set 6-love against Kutsenko and Vauclair. So there's a turnaround.
It'll be interesting to see how that third set goes.
Just back. No. Oh, that time Rams definitely made a move, but it kind of spooked Benkaim there, but a really strong forehand there from Baxter, huge. Fred Willard in the chair, just rock solid up there. Brook, no confusion or anything on the court, got the score locked down. Frank Willard, sorry. Fred Willard's the actor. All right, here we are, match point. Good.
And we're seeing it here. Just both of these guys, Benkaim and Rams, they are moving in tandem at the net. Their overheads are keeping them in position, and that's might just be the biggest separating factor between these two teams today. One's overheads kept them in play.
Well, great job there. Rams and Benkaim are through 6-3, 6-2 against Christian and Baxter. Great match by those guys. And we got more coming up here, John. A full day and a full slate of matches. Women's quarterfinals coming up around 2 o'clock, probably in around 15, 20 minutes. Our producer's giving the head nod, and no, he's not nodding off. That's a affirmative. John, it's a pleasure calling that with you. Any final thoughts?
No, I just thought that Rams and Benkaim did a fabulous job of controlling the pace of play and working together as a team. And that's a huge compliment to two guys playing together for the first time. So if they can keep it up, they're going to be a real pain in the side for anybody that they play the rest of the day.
All right. Well, we'll be back, like I said, in about 20 minutes or so. Women's quarterfinal round action right here on the APTA Net YouTube channel presented by CPTC.
Hello, this is John Weinlater with Volley, and we're here at the Philly Open having a great time. So exciting to be out here at the second Grand Prix event and seeing all the momentum that's being gathered this season. It's been great being a partner with the APTA, and we've been excited with all the momentum with Volley as well. And we're about ready to hit our 500,000th ball right now on all the trainers. So it's pretty exciting that people are finding the product and talking about it. To keep track of all the new stuff going on with Volley, follow us on social or visit our website, getvolley.com. Thank you.